podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
I took my L and I bounced back.
You know the saying, stay hungry, stay humble. I'm hungry, I'm humble in defeat, and I'm gonna remain humble in victory. This is it, right?
Dazn Productions.
I just wanted to put on a great boxing masterclass and also show the sweet science of this lovely sport. Man, the first time was so nice, I had to do it twice.
But I'm prepared to the best of my capability, and I pray that I get the win. Look at it, I love Mike Tyson, how he came into the game on some different kind of vibe. You know what I mean? It takes a crazy man to want to fight, you know what I mean, day in, day out. The hardcore sport, as you said, no silk shoes.
Ain't no other sight in the game could see the boxing boys.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It doesn't stop. Hashtag we working. It's official. Anthony Joshua versus Kubrat Pulev is official for June 20th. Sky Sports pay-per-view should be live on Dazn. Dazn officially made an announcement on their social media telling us to mark the dates. So it's looking like a fight that we were supposed to have, I believe, in 2018, maybe even later or, sooner. We're getting it back. IBF mandatory. Kubrat Pulev stands in the way of undisputed and unifications. And just a hiccup in the road that Joshua has to take care of. Mandatories are, the contenders that put themselves in position to derail champions. But let's get on out to my co-host. Before we do that, you know the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Now, don't forget you can add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation from anywhere in the world. Let's get on out to Corpus Christi, Texas.
It's me, Mario.
What up? Yeah, man, this is good news. I'm glad that it's finally, the details are starting to come out and we're settling this. June 20th, Joshua will defend his multiple heavyweight titles, including the IBF and WBA and WO. It's going to be AJ's first fight back, to the UK. I think that's a huge deal. And I think this little kind of trip away did what it was supposed to do. His two fights with Ruiz did exactly what they were supposed to do, and that was to get him global recognition. But he had the global recognition, but mostly stateside recognition. And his name was put in a lot of ears. So I absolutely believe that it won't be the Wilder Fury height, but it definitely, Joshua carries some heavy, heavy clout. And after that Fury Wilder, that fight might have helped this fight in terms of finance. So we'll see how it goes, but let's chop it up.
For sure, man. I don't know. Was there anyone out there that he could have paid step-aside money to possibly to be in a bigger fight? Is this absolutely mandatory to handle the mandatory? Was there anything out there, or, is he free from criticism because it's a mandatory and there isn't a bigger fight on the horizon?
He absolutely gets, it's not even a pass. This is a fight that, look, whether it's necessary in terms of his legacy, that's a question you could ask and we could debate that. But as far as it being as mandatory and him being allowed this opportunity, Pulev is a great fighter. He is a solid fighter. Is he in the top three? Does he belong in the Wilder Fury, Dylan White category? No. But that's the thing, is those fights can't be made. Fury, he's not going to fight Fury right now. You know, he needs a fight before that. This is a really good fight, in my opinion, that kind of just, you know, puts it out there, and it allows for those two guys to fight each other at some point. You know, and so with Wilder and Fury going ahead with the fight, with the third trilogy fight, I don't know. I can't take anything. It would be one thing if Wilder or Fury were knocking down this guy's door. Yes, pay the step aside money, but this is absolutely well within his realm of doing. He's a champion, and he absolutely deserves to have this fight, and he's going to look good. He's going to look great, and it's just going to make us anticipate him fighting Fury or Wilder at some point. And that's all this fight is doing. It's adding to his legacy.
So wait a minute. How do you know he's going to look great? I mean, we assumed he was going to look great in the, you know, Ruiz first fight. I've been a strong supporter. Fights need to happen nowadays. You know, we can't just assume because, you know, Ruiz made us all look like asses for assuming he didn't have a shot.
Of course. And I fully understand that. But here's the thing. Like, you fool me once, shame on, you. Fool me twice, shame on me. At this point, I'm willing to bet that this man he's learned his lessons. And the kind of lessons that you learn in a fight with Ruiz, and the kind of things that you take away, those are the kind of things that propel you into that upper echelon, to that next level. He's gotten this he got that fight out of the way. He came and he avenged his loss. We had Paulie Malignaggi on in the last show. If you didn't hear that show, go back and listen to it. He made some excellent points. And the big thing he said was,
or is this a Brit only thing?
No, it's not a Brit only thing. Joshua is on the global level. This is a boxing thing that happens to be, Joshua deserves every opportunity, every chance to go back to the UK in his hometown or his home soil and look good for the people that really built him. You know, he's not forgetting about his fans, just like Wilder goes to Bama, and just like Wilder puts in for his hometown crowd and for the people that supported him before we heard the name Wilder. You know, back when Seth Mitchell was the heavyweight. No, I'm just kidding. No, but back before Wilder was Wilder, these people supported him, and this is the same thing with Joshua. You know, AJ went out. He really made a splash in the heavyweight scene. You know, for better for worse. Some people might say, well, he lost the fight, but it definitely brought recognition. He came back. He did what he had to do, and so I have no issues with this at all. Zero. I'm looking forward to the fight. And then I'm looking forward to him. Now, if he were to go to Pulev and then he would take somebody outside the top 10, it wouldn't work. But I would say, though, if you at the end of the day have this notion that this is some sort of, easy fight or he's, taking the easy route, like that's just nonsense. And you can't ever pay attention to that kind of stuff.
So I Googled Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They hold about 62,000. That sounds kind of right around the lines of what Joshua does.
Sure.
Post, or should I say pre-loss. Will they sell this one out with Pulev?
They will sell it out in the first day. It's going to be done. They're going to sell it out in the first day. Look, if there are tickets available, not in the secondhand market, if there are tickets still available beyond the third day of this fight, then something's going on. People are having some bad internet connections because Joshua is the draw. Now, I would understand that hardcore fans know Pulev and probably no one else, Big Baby, Dillian White. These are the names that have been starting to churn out into the public, specifically the American public. But again, that's why this fight is that's why this fight makes so much sense being where it's being held, because these are the fans that know who Pulev is. These are the Joshua hardcores. And that's what this fight is catering to ultimately. But the Joe Rogans of the world, they'll be paying attention, Ness. The Stephen A's of the world, they'll be paying attention.
I don't think Stephen A. or Joe Rogan care about Pulev. If anything, they're going to be saying Joshua's fighting and he's taking on his mandatory, and they'll brush it off like that. I don't think they're excited
that's fair.
That's
fair.
Pulev.
No. But all I'm saying is it's going to get that American coverage. Is it going to be, look, Joe Rogan had like 4 or 5 clips of Wilder Fury in the last week. It was definitely a hotly debated topic on his show. And, Stephen A. and Max and everybody on First Take. You said it earlier on the last show. That fight, Wilder Fury, broke into the mainstream. SNL, Good Morning America. I could not turn on the TV without seeing or being reminded of that fight. This is not that, but Joshua is that star by himself. And the Joe Rogans of the world will pay attention regardless of who he fights, because they know on the precipice is another potential Ruiz, Joshua, Fury, Wilder, 1 or 2. These men are creating exciting times and exciting moments. Look, you don't not watch LeBron James just because the Lakers are going to play some team they're going to blow out. You watch them. You watch them because it's on their schedule, and that man and that team is great, and Joshua is great, and that's why this is going to be a success at the highest level.
Are we expecting and predicting knockout in this particular matchup? I mean, this guy, didn't he go a decision with like Baghdad Dinu?
Yes, oh man, I had his thing pulled up and then I just closed it for some stupid reason. But yeah, look, I don't know. Look, I don't want to come out here and say that that Joshua is this like ultimate knockout fighter, and that if you're not Wilder or Fury or Dillian White, you're getting starched. Not at all. Again, I believe Pulev is a more than worthy opponent. Okay, he has 1 loss. We all know that was against Klitschko. And since then, he's accumulated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wins. Okay.
Versus who? What's the biggest name in those 8 wins?
Look, listen, he's got Samuel Peter on there, Derek Chisora,
Wait.
Fury. I mean,
I don't know if you heard the question.
You said it, didn't you?
Wait, I don't know if you heard. I said the question was, what's his biggest win? And you went to Samuel Peter, so maybe you didn't hear me.
Listen,
like his biggest win in those 8. His biggest win in those 8.
In those 8 fights, of course. Yeah. Well, I mean, listen. I don't know. I guess Derek Chisora, Dinu. I guess
Derek Chisora. Definitely the win over Chisora is looking good, especially since Chisora's been able to get back up. But let's be real. That was 4 years ago. That was 4 years ago. That's 2016. His best win is 2016, 4 years ago. We seen him go a 10-round unanimous decision with Rydell Booker, who we had on the show, who we know, didn't get too much time to prepare, also served the prison sentence. So, spent some time away from the ring, and he gave good old Kubrat Pulev a little bit of, resistance in that fight for sure. And, he did get the knockout with Baghdad Dinu in the 7th, but I think Big Baby did it sooner. Big Baby got him out of there in 4, so I don't know, man. Pulev is what, like 41 at this point? 38? Wow, they lying.
38 years old.
They lying. Come on, man. Let me share this box.
He'll be 39 before the fight.
Bro, Pulev's stunting. He ain't 39, bro, and he ain't 38. I mean, look at this box rec real quick. He looking like, come on. He looking like a good old 40-something. Look at that. His skin on that face, but I'll be honest with you. He looks good. He got his birth
certificate the same place Ortiz got his.
I know, right? Look, he looks good. In real life or whatever. I just don't know. Pulev is kind of the guy that I dislike, in the sense that you just hang around trying to wait for an opportunity. You know what I mean? Like we just said. 8 fights since you lost in your last opportunity, and the biggest name we could find is Derek Chisora 4 years ago. So he just kind of just waits and waits to get that big opportunity, similar to like Povetkin back in the day, even though now Povetkin's really mixing it up ever since he's matched up with Matchroom. He's kind of like, getting a lot of dates or whatever. But I don't know, man. Pulev strikes me as a guy that's just like waiting in the wind, fighting. Like, how do you fight like Kevin Johnson, Samuel Peters, Baghdad Dinu, Rydell Booker, and you're a mandatory, bro? Like, that's just strange to me. But
I hear you, but I think that you said it yourself. From watching him over the years, he's definitely presents an interesting matchup. Maybe not the most challenging matchup to Joshua, but on paper is where it's going to count as well. Because a lot of the casual fans that are going to tune in to watch this, they're going to see 28-1. And they're going to hear that the only guy that beat him was Klitschko, the man who has an entire era named after him. One of the most dominant fighters in history. I didn't say heavyweights. I said fighters in history. Vladimir Klitschko does not get the credit he deserves, enough credit. And so that's what they're going to see, Ness. That's how they're going to build this. They're going to show you, look at the guy. He's just come back from a Klitschko loss. He got KO'd, in Germany. I think it was in Germany. The O2. Oh, yeah, it was at the O2. World Arena, my bad. And so, that's how they're going to market it. They're going to build this as the only guy to lose, the only guy he lost to was Klitschko. He came back 8 fights. He's a credible fighter and he's going to come in and that's how they're going to build it, but it doesn't matter because what happens before the fight is not nearly as important as what happens after the fight. Does he get the knockout? Does he get the stoppage? Does he impress? Does he have trouble? Does he slow down? Does he get tired? Does he get touched? What happens in this fight? That's going to set the course to Fury Wilder. And so this is just
I'm definitely interested from a standpoint, and just quickly, because I want to hear your part. Like, is he going to fight the same? Like, is he going to fight in that Ruiz, Joshua 2 fight mode? Like, I'm hoping he gives me action and not, boxing.
Well, that's the beauty of of this fight with Pulev. I don't think that. Look, going into this fight, guys like you, guys like me, guys like our listeners, and girls like our listeners, they knew what Andy Ruiz was. They knew how talented of a fighter he was. Nobody ever questioned whether he was a good boxer. The question was he going to come in shape? Was he going to be the best version of himself? With Pulev, there is aspects of his game that Joshua can take advantage of. Look, he's slower, 40 years old or 39 come fight time. He's going to be 39. He's getting him at a time where he can look good. This isn't a young, hungry lion. This is a guy who has, 29, 30 fights in his career. And, he's being set up, not set up, but they are laying out the pins for Joshua to knock down. And this is why they have marketed Joshua so well. They've promoted him so well. It always feels like an event when he fights. And because of the Ruiz fights, we've gotten away from that. I mean, look, a couple years ago, we were talking about how he was selling out fight after fight after fight. Oh, well, what happens when he comes to the U.S.? What's it going to be like when he comes to the U.S.? He came to the U.S., and he made a name for himself. Everybody knew who he was.
Yo, you spun that. Yeah, everybody knew who he was, absolutely. After he was plastered all over the fucking airwaves for that, for that mishaps. Yeah. Listen, I'm not going to harp on it either. I just want to add in that.
I don't think you are.
No, I just want to add in that I checked the betting lines. He's a 12-1 favorite. Pulev, you can get him as high as a 7. To 1. So if you put 100 on Pulev, you make 700 back. And you got to put 1,200 on Joshua to make 100 back. So this is pretty wide. They're expecting him to definitely get the win. So far, no prop bets, so I can't tell you if he's getting knocked out or not. But they do have will the fight go the distance, and he's a -300 that it won't. So the probability seems like they think that the fight won't go the distance. And in terms of odds for Joshua to win by TKO, KO, or disqualification, he's a -250, which isn't bad. I would pick him to get the stoppage as well. For the decision, you got a +240. Now, for those guys that are Joshua haters that think he's gun shy, that think he fought Andy in that style because he doesn't want to get hit, +240 makes sense for your decision pick if you still think he's, riding in that same mindset, which I'm not saying that he is. just letting you know. In terms of Pulev by decision, drop 100, make 2,500. That's how unlikely they think it is to win by decision if it's Pulev. And Pulev to get a draw in this fight is plus 2,500, which is not bad. Not bad. It's almost feasible. 2,500 isn't bad. I think I caught the draw for Wilder Fury 1 at 4,700. I mean, 40. Yeah, plus 470.
It sounds nice, but you're absolutely right. It's not feasible. It's not a smart bet, in my opinion. The odds are there, I guess. I mean, yeah, they are. They're there, if you want to take that gamble. But this fight is not ending in any other way than Joshua's hand raised. And I am more than confident that it is going to happen before the 12th round. Now, to get into specifics, well, we're not there yet. So I'm not going to break down the fight and tell you what's going to happen. I have some ideas, but, we'll see as we get closer. We'll see what Pulev looks like. I can't get over the age. I think that the young, hungry champion is already, he's already 3 rounds up just based on Pulev's activity over the past several years, as you brought up, and the fact that he's 39. He started his career in 2009, 10 years ago. So he's not like this war-tested veteran. He only has 29. I mean, I say only, but yeah, 29 fights is, decent. But it's really not like what you would think a veteran would have, And so I don't know. I can't see this fight ending in any other way. I just think this is Joshua's time to kind of take his victory lap with Pulev. He's going to get this victory, and he's not going to be gun shy. That's what everybody has to understand. You could talk about whatever you want to say with Ruiz and what happened, and yeah, it adds up. Oh, he got hurt. He lost, so he came back, and now he's a scared fighter. No, man, come on. Boxing is styles. Styles make fights, right? And guess what? The best approaches usually win. He had a game plan. He followed that game plan. Come on, y'all cannot clown him for something like that, because some of the best fighters in the world don't make those adjustments. And, what would have happened if he would have came out and starched Ruiz in round 1? Everybody would have said, well, does he make it the distance? Can he go the distance? Can he do this? Can he do that? He showed that he can come back and make adjustments. So this fight, again, maybe some people are going to be looking to see how he fights, what kind of style he uses. But for the most part, I just think this is all a catalyst. You know what this is? You want me to tell you what this is? Because you're a Marvel fan, right?
Absolutely.
This is Thor Dark World. Okay? This is Thor Dark World. This is setting up. There is going to be something in this fight that adds to Infinity War. That adds to the end game. That is Fury Wilder, the winner of Fury Wilder. This is propelling us. Okay, and I promise you, Joshua's gonna walk in on the 20th of June and snap his fucking fingers and make Pulev fucking turn to ash. It'll happen, and then it adds to the mystique of the fights. And when he goes for all the belts, right? And what's he doing? He's collecting stones. He's collecting infinity stones, because when that man does it, he becomes infinite. And does he beat Fury? I don't think so, but that's the projection that they're on. With this fight, it propels him. Ruiz was its own chapter. Pulev is nothing more than a chapter in the Joshua book that leads to Wilder Fury. That's what this is. It's not a big time fight because of Pulev. It's a big time fight because of Joshua.
Since you brought up Wilder Fury, what did you think of his 2 opponents leading into the first Wilder fight, second Wilder fight? We're talking Ottawa Wildleen, Bagdon Dinu. And the only reason I asked that, because for Pulev, he has Bogdan Dinu and Rodell Booker as his lead up to his undisputed or unification match. And before that, very little activity with Hughie Fury once in 18, Kevin Johnson once in 17, Samuel Peters and Derek Chisora both in 16. So he hasn't been the most active person. 2019 and his deal with Top Rank is probably the best that he's seen in terms of 2 fights that were beatable, that he didn't have to worry,
No, you're absolutely right. But I think, again, it goes back to this is a very tough thing to kind of grapple with when we're talking Fury and Wilder and Joshua, because the heavyweight division has become commercialized. It is filled with casual fans, and they have overrun. I mean, and you can tell with Twitter. Paulie said it best. You know, it's more people are having opinions on boxing that don't know shit about boxing because the heavyweight division is back. We're in a golden age of fights. It is beautiful these days. And so, I don't think it's going to matter because the casual fans the hardcore fans that know what this fight is, they know what you know. They know that he fought Huey Fury in 18, and that was his only fight in 18. He fought once in 17, twice in 16. They know that, okay? So what they're looking for in this fight is what Joshua does. The casuals that don't, they're looking at a guy that's 28-1 and has only ever lost to one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. They think it's a fight, and let them think it's a fight, because all it does is add to the mystique and the prestige of an eventual Joshua Wilder/Fury clash.
Does this hurt Joshua if he doesn't get the stoppage?
I'm not going to say it does. It hurts him, but it definitely doesn't do what the fight is intended to do. What the fight is intended to do is create a highlight reel, and not just a highlight reel knockout. That's something different. And I don't even know if he stops him like that. I could see a corner stoppage. I could see him, the referee waving it off. But it's going to be highlights of round after round after round of this man just dominating. And that's what you want. Those are the type of clips you need to sell a Wilder Fury. And look, the fight sells itself, of course. But I'm just saying, the better he looks, the more it propels himself in the casual eye. So, yes, it doesn't hurt him. It might hurt him with some hardcores, but it doesn't hurt him in the overall landscape of the fight game. What it does is it doesn't go according to plan. And that's always an issue for a fighter, and it's always an issue for a promoter. But, I think that it's a moot point, Ness, because he is going to take care of business. And we know it. You know it. Is it anything to really,
Dude, but
is this going to be a fight we talk about? Probably not.
But I thought he was going to take care of business with Andy. 2019 showed me that fights need to.
He did.
Yeah, 2019 showed me fights need to happen. We can't just assume what's going to happen. We never know when the sun is going to shine on that dog's ass. We never know when that fighter is going to have the fight of his night. In boxing, everything changes with one punch. We've seen that now with the Joshua fight and with the Wilder fight. Two men that were in their prime were not expected to lose anytime soon. And all of a sudden, with one shot, could not get their equilibrium back, and it was over. But yeah, man, let's get out to these callers. We're on definitely drive-by mode. This is going to be very fast, giving about 20 to 30 seconds to each person. No Bluetooth, no, speaker, and let's get out to it. Oh, first some sponsors. But first, real quick, get yourself pumped up for my man AJ.
AJ,
well done, yes sir.
I think you could spit a little bar. We give you a couple words.
Maybe
2 words, not 4.
I like to blow my trumpet and that, do you know what I mean? In my last fight, I had to watch my weight. I'm eating too much, even though I'm a heavyweight.
Yay!
I'm on time and I'm never ever late. I'm hustling hard so I can go on and be a great. In JD, chilling with my mates. I stay low key, never ever moving bait. Keep it calm, ring the alarms. Man chat, get slapped with my palm.
One set! Hey! Oh! AJ! Shut down! My God!
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
All right. Let's go out to Brandon, Cincinnati. What up, champ?
I'm just listening to us, man. Shout out to you and your boy Mario. Welcome back, Mario, man. Yeah, keep up the good work.
All right.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Boomerang Trey, just listening.
Nah, I'm in here. Shit, I don't know. You know me. I'm fucking around. I got Pulev. That's my troll for the day, y'all.
Well, all right.
Love it. Love it.
Oklahoma, Israel, what it do? Glad to see you made it back well.
Thanks, Ness. Thanks for the show. Nice to meet you this weekend. Nice to meet you, Mario. Really good.
Love to meet you. It was great meeting you.
Yes, sir. I'm really just calling as I'm going to go with Trey. I got a Pulev and 3 KO. Y'all have a good day. Talk to you soon.
All right. Well, let's get on now to
I love it, man.
Civilian 11. I know he'll bring some AJ love.
Yeah, you already know it. So, number one, I got to say that, that's a lot of heavyweight casual fan talk right now, and a lot of it's warranted, a lot of it's not. But, man, what really pisses me off is hearing all these basketball and football guys trash Wilder, talking about, he never knew how to box. Well, look, Wilder had some boxing skills, but I don't think these guys should be trashing him, and they don't know shit about the sport. That's one of the things that really pisses me off. But as far as Joshua, I'm glad the fight's done. He can go out, get his highlight reel, just like you said. And also, I would like...
Cut it.
All right, going out to Florida. Remember, we in drive-by mode. Get your thoughts in order.
El gran campeón puertorriqueño, Victor Trinidad.
You got any excuses tonight, Roy? Let's not ask questions like that. Let's touch gloves and go to work. Let's go to work.
What up, Ness? Man, you came back strong, bro. What is this, number 3, 4 today?
3.
Damn, that's what's up, man. Because I know you was busy with Border Wars over the weekend, so coming back giving us a ton of shows. I don't think too much of this fight, man. I think it's a highlight reel knockout for AJ, and just a little fill in until we get the real fight that we want. But yeah, that's it. I think it's not an easy win for AJ, but it should be a win for AJ. Appreciate the show, man.
All right, thank you for always tuning in.
I used to get it in Ohio.
Just listening.
All right, we're going out to Liz Lowe, Decatur, Georgia. Talk to us.
What's happening, man? I'm just listening right now. I ain't got nobody, man. I'm gonna do some little research on this fight, and I'll get back with y'all.
All right, and shout out to you, because let me tell you guys, if you don't remember, he was one of the only, he was the first, and then there was others, but he was the first that continued to say Ruiz was going to shock the world the first fight. So he wasn't a bandwagon picker like me on the second fight. He actually called it on the first fight. So shout out to Liz Lowe. We're going out to Sid in Florida. What up?
Much, man. I just say good shit on you getting all these interviews in. Everybody liked the video and the other ones he did today. And shit, just good work on y'all. And AJ versus Pulev is a civil. It's just a fight. Next. All right, man. That's all.
Mr. PPV, baby. Boxingboys.com. I'm the flyest. Canelo talking about he believe he can win. Go to my kitchen. Get the sharpest knife. Cut the bullshit out. I don't care what you do good. I do every fucking thing great. Mr. PPV, baby.
Yo, what's good, Ness and Mike? Is Mike there?
Mike is not. He was busy.
Okay, Solo, Dolo, Manolo.
I got Mario with me. Maybe you heard of
Mario?
him.
What up?
Yeah, I heard of him before. I heard him. What's up, man? Long time no see.
Long time, man.
I'm kind of excited for all the fights coming up. Joshua's doing his thing. Excited to hear about Deontay Wilder doing the trilogy. Excited if he does go with the Mayweathers. Excited, man. I can't wait to see it. I seen the fight last week on Dazn. I don't got it, but I got people to hook me up to watch it, That's my call.
All right,
I just jumped in.
That's right. Let me give credit to Alex Lemon as well out of Fresno. He also picked Ruiz, but I believe Liz Lowe was the first to make it vocal on this show. We're going with Victor in Baltimore. What up?
Hello, champ. What's up?
What's going on?
I'm good. Yeah, the fight is going to be an exciting one. Please, it's something that I overheard you saying before. Pulev is not a bomb. please, for the listeners, that man has Samuel Peters on his record. And Samuel Peters, aside Tyson Fury, there's no big name bigger than Samuel Peters on Deontay Wilder's record. Please, just for the record. He's not a bum. He don't fight that often, but he is no bum at all. That's my call. And that fight is going to be an interesting one with AJ. I want to see how AJ handles business and go in for the undisputed fight. That's my call.
Well, all right. Victor, thanks for calling in. Justin, talk to me.
What's up? It's good waiting 25 seconds and getting to call in. I'd just like to say, easy win for Joshua. You know, this is a hype up for the Fury fight. You know, there's no win that Pulev has gotten that believes me, you know, that it's good enough to beat Joshua. And he fought Klitschko. Klitschko dominated him. I watched it yesterday. And his game really hasn't evolved much, and he's old. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Justin Jr. 962. Interviewing fighters, all fighter breakdowns, all boxing breakdowns. Just reached 400 subs. Justin Jr. 962. Thanks, man.
Congrats on the 400 subs, Justin. Do your thing, baby.
I know Justin, but I'm pretty sure after that call, that was Ness Jr. there. That would have been Ness right there if you were born. Well, I'm assuming he was like 2001 or something. That would have been you right there, man.
Yeah, nah, man. Justin got his skills up for sure. Trey, Boomerang.
Give it to Will King.
Say what? Oh, Will Keem. Will Keem. Give it to Will Keem. Keem, what up? Boomerang for Trey.
Yo, let me get off Bluetooth real fast. Hey, shout out to Trey. Appreciate the boomerang. I ain't have too much to say on this topic. I was just really listening in. I do want to say, man, you need to put Justin on the show, bruh. Let him be a co-host, man. Jit is raw. He got good knowledge, you know what I mean? I like what he doing, man. I mean, man, imagine where you would have been if you started at 12 years old. Where you would be right now, man. You know what I mean? That kid has a bright future, man, for real. I support him. I subscribe to his channel. So shout out to that kid, Justin, man. And yeah, shout out to TBV, man. Just appreciate the show, dog. I ain't had much.
All right, brother. Thank you for calling in. Thank everybody that tuned in. We'll be back with another one. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel right here at youtube.com/The Boxing Voice. Make sure you hit that icon and get the notification bell. You want to make sure you get your notification every time we go live. This is the third live stream. We're talking boxing every day, multiple times a day. Morning show every day at 9 a.m. That's GTO on Instagram and Twitter. Peace.
At Mario Mugia on Twitter. Peace.